Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another Going Old School Retro Discussions, where we get together and we talk about those things that we love, because I know everybody else is going to be talking about the things that they hate on a continual basis. But I think it's so much fun and more fun to sit there and talk about the things that we remember from the past and the things that we actually love, because making fun of the stuff that we hate is 10 times easier than building up the stuff that we remember and we respect. So joining us tonight, as always, we got our buddy Jens. Petter, what's going on, Jens?
Yeah, right, so glad to be back on, doing some weird science.
Yeah, man, this is another one. I really love this topic, and it's such a fun movie. And I think those people that may have missed this one, oh God, you guys are missing out. This one I think is fantastic. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of adventure. It's got comedy and everything. We're going to get in that in a minute, but let's go ahead and welcome our good buddy Shellback. TJC, what's going on, Shellback?
What up?
There it is. A little excitement, a little bit of intrigue in your voice right there, Shellback. I don't know what it is, but it's touched me. It's touched me.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I know, Shellback. You after this, you got your yelling at park cars warm up round. What is that? 8:30, or is that 9?
Well, your time, yeah, 5:30 Pacific.
Okay.
So yeah, 8:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and what's going on? Lasso of Truth, what's going on? Nano Reaper, making tacos. Nice. Well, it's kind of funny that you should mention tacos, because actually one of my toy break is going to include a taco ever so briefly. It's kind of funny. But anyway, what is the reason for the season, man? Oh, go ahead, Shellback. What do you got?
Oh, I just said taco?
Taco. I like tacos. Okay. Taco grande. What's going on? Culture Casino, Weird Science. Yeah, you can't go wrong. What's up, Brahma Bull? Good to see you, man. If you want to stop in, you guys, you have the link. Culture, if you want the link, I can't remember if you're in that chat or not, but if you're not, let me know. I can send you a link. But anyway, guys, this one, what is the reason for the season? We are talking about weird science. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off by hitting everybody in the feels and showing some of those scenes from the movie, of course, like I always like to do, and a little bit of backstory about this movie in case you are not overly familiar with this. Hey, what's going on, Chris Fisk? Good to see you too. I'm having an urge to wear a bra on my head. You wear a bra on top of your head. Nelson, gentlemen, what up? So, all right, so here we go. Let's get into the feels with this one, Weird Science. So today we will be talking about a movie based on a comic book written by Al Feldstein and William M. Gaines, written and directed by John Hughes. 1985's Weird Science. Starring Anthony Michael Hall as Gary Wallace, Kelly LeBrock as Lisa,
He's a lion. A lion.
Ian Mitchell Smith as Wyatt Donnelly, Bill Paxton as Chet Donnelly.
You die. She walks out of here with a severe limp.
Suzanne Snyder as Deb, Judy Aronson as Hilly, Robert Downey Jr. as Ian, and Robert Russler as Max.
Scotch.
Straight up.
Yeah, give me the whole bottle.
Tell you what. You bend over. Now shove it straight up your ass.
Two unpopular teenagers, Gary Wallace and Wyatt Donnelly, fail at all attempts to be accepted by their peers. Their desperation to be liked leads them to create a woman via their computer. Their living and breathing creation is a gorgeous woman, Lisa, whose purpose is to boost their confidence level by putting them into situations which require Gary and Wyatt to act like men. This movie, like so many other of John Hughes' creations, has all the pitfalls of drama and comedy that you would come to expect. And many of the situations that these boys find themselves in is absolutely hysterical. From the ridiculousness of taking a shower.
You two can't even take a shower with a beautiful woman without wearing your jeans.
To the crazed futuristic bikers that wind up crashing his party.
Can we keep this between us? I'd hate to lose my teaching job.
To Wyatt's brother Chet turning into a weird frog creature.
Quit screwing around. This ain't funny, you stupid bitch.
And their failure at trying to recreate Lisa.
A missile! A missile!
If you haven't seen this one, I don't know what you're waiting for. This one is Guinea Pig Collective approved. And in final thoughts, I will say this one was popular enough to actually spawn its own TV series. Yeah, man, there are so many fun moments in this movie alone that there's so many quotable things. Like, even I didn't touch on it, and I love that scene where Chet actually comes up to him after they come back drunk from the bar, and he's like, how about a nice greasy pork sandwich served on a dirty ashtray?
Yeah. Pork chop sandwich, I think.
No, he just said a pork sandwich.
I thought he said pork chop sandwich. I don't know.
Chris Fisk, frog creature. I thought he was turned to a giant heap of shit.
Yeah.
I really don't know what he. Well, the only reason I said a frog creature, if you remember, there's one point he's sitting there and he darts his tongue out like a frog and eats a fly.
Yeah.
Chris Fisk is right though. He did get turned into a turd because I think they call him like a giant turd. But it's like a like frog turd creature that like
it is definitely strange. I think it's absolutely hilarious too. I don't know where they came up with that, but there was a lot more in that movie too. That's hilarious. What's going on? Good stuff, Comics Gator. Good to see you. Snow Dub Live is in the house. Cotton Connection. What is up, Snow? Snow Kid loves this movie. Proof that great movies can continue to future generations. Absolutely right. And we are the ones that have to be the stewards of that franchise or those movies to be able to pass them on to the people that are coming up next so they don't miss out on these things. I know there's a lot of people, we've tried to steer Runner right, and Runner is actually fallen into the pit traps of some of these older movies. Now look at him. He's over there all the time with Mead and with Fanzine talking about old movies and starting to collect too. Next thing you know, he's going to be a hermit, probably living in an old abandoned Blockbuster at some point. But God bless him.
What about all those scenes with Gary's parents? You know, like the I don't know if that was the first one or not, but where they were at his house, you know, and Lisa was talking about having parties, you know. Chips, dips, chains, whips, and
Don't take that tone with me, Al. You're out of shape. I'll kick your ass. And it's something about the way she says it too, with that little bit of like a British accent that she has.
Right.
It's absolutely hilarious.
I'll kick your ass. Yeah. But
wait a minute. I got one for you. I actually saved this as a clip.
Have you ever wondered how sad it is that your son's only sexual outlet is tossing off to magazines in the bathroom?
Lisa.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Absolutely, man. This is just a fun movie. I mean, what's going on? Wookie, hail to the assimilated. What's up, brother? Chris actually asked, I wonder if that film takes place in New Jersey. I don't think so, because the town that they're showing in this is a lot more interesting than anywhere in New Jersey. Remember, the water in Jersey makes frogs gay. Sorry.
I think they were supposed to be California. I think it was supposed to be in California.
Yeah, I think so too. But no, this is absolutely a fun movie. I mean, it starts off with them being absolutely picked on and being bullied. A lot in the way that you've seen a lot of those other type of high school and college type movies. There's always the outcasts that it starts with.
Yeah. Teen Wolf was a thing of that where the outcast fucking loners who like can't get any girls turn into fucking crazy party animals.
Yep.
You the nerds and all.
What up, Kick? Yeah,
Buddy,
I was going to say. I was going to say though. I was going to say I really didn't remember the TV show at first, and I know I was sitting there talking with Tony Tonedeaf of the Clown World Reviews, and he was talking about he hasn't seen the original Weird Science TV show in such a long time, and I was actually wondering if maybe it was available on Tubi, and I have yet to be able to take the time to go over and look it up yet, but I don't remember that one. Just like, even though I vaguely remember the Logan's Run TV show, I don't actually remember watching it. So the Weird Science is another one. I know it was on, and I know that my brother had watched it a few times. I personally don't remember actually sitting down and watching that. Do you guys remember the TV show at all?
Oh, yeah. I don't. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no. Britain, I don't think ever had the TV series. They had the film, obviously, but the TV series, I don't think. So I didn't even know really about the TV series.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I don't really remember any of the episodes in detail, but I definitely remember watching the show.
So I take it that the show just kind of played off what the movie did.
Yeah.
Chris adds, Anthony Michael Hall always played the pencil neck geeks in those films, but as he got older, the dude filled out and actually got buff, and he was the star of the Dead Zone series. Yeah, I do vaguely remember that one. There was another series that I didn't really watch. I knew of it. I maybe seen a few episodes in passing, but wasn't something that I watched regularly.
The Dead Zone series, yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, from the film on it with Christopher Walken.
Yo, Bone! What up, Tommy Jens and Shellback? What is up, Bone? I hope that you're doing well.
I miss the Chihuahua icon though.
I remember the TV show on USA Network. It was good too. Chris Fisk, the TV series was on USA Network and starred Vanessa Angel. I prefer Kelly LeBrock though. Solar Warden. No, I don't remember Logan Run. What year was it on? It was after obviously it was after the movie because the movie came out in like 76, I believe it was that the movie came out, Logan's Run. I want to say that this series came out in either the late 70s, early 80s. It is available on Tubi to watch for free. I've seen it on there, and I do plan on watching it because I don't really remember this series very well. I think I may have seen it in passing or maybe only watched one episode. It was something I just never had a chance to really sit down and watch the entire thing. So I'm going to go on Tubi and watch that shit, man. If you guys don't have Tubi, hey, open that app up on whatever you're using, whether it's your computer or it's your TV or your phone. The app is totally free. If you sign up, it keeps your it basically keeps what shows that you're watching. So, you can go right back into it and watch it, but it's totally free. They're not charging anything.
The Logan's Run, if I remember right, the actor's name was Gregory Harrison. He played Logan, he played the main character. And he was, I don't know if you ever watched that medical show Trapper John MD.
I seen a few, because it was a spinoff of MASH, so I had to watch some of it, you know.
But anyway, Gregory Harrison in that show played his character. I don't know what his real name was, but they called him Gonzo, and he lived in a damn Winnebago out in the fucking hospital parking lot. But he was one of the doctors, but he just. But anyway, that's the guy who played Logan in the series.
Okay, Snowed Up Live says he's in the new Halloween movie. Good Stuff Comic Skater says he was in Johnny Be Good with Uma Thurman.
Yeah,
and Sci-Fi Nation, what's going on? Welcome, good to see you.
Yeah, that Dead Zone movie. It's a bit. When I first saw that, I thought it was going to be crap. I didn't even watch it because the beginning bit is you see a boy get who is the Dead Zone dude, or how he gets his powers. He goes under a big, thick sheet of ice that's on a lake and that. And I was watching, and I thought, oh no, this film's going to be about some dead kid, and then the family's going to be all like, oh, moaning. So I thought, oh, this looks shit. I turned it off, not knowing that the kid survives and becomes like a fucking supernatural teller of like the future sort of thing.
Sci-Fi Nation asks, did anyone ever see the MASH spinoff called After MASH? Yeah, I did. Actually.
Yeah.
I think I did a short video about it maybe about 2 years ago, I want to say, on my channel, talking about that. I talked about that. I talked about the show. I talked about the original movie. I even did a video talking about the toys because I did find some of them that was in my collection when I was over at my father's house. Bone says, I had a Trapper John Trapper Keeper.
Oh, I remember those Trapper Keepers.
The old Trapper Keepers, man, they were absolutely hilarious. Some of those things I remember, like there was people fighting over certain ones because let's just say somebody had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or they had He-Man. They would fight over these stupid Trapper Keepers. Like it was so hilarious watching people fight over shit. It's the same thing with lunchboxes. I mean, I could talk about that again, but I think one smash to the face with a lunchbox was enough. What's going on, Chris Fitz, with this comment, huh? I remember when the MASH theme has lyrics, "Suicide is painless." Yep, that was first established in the original movie.
Apparently, I know the 12-year-old son or someone, one of the director who made MASH. Apparently, he wrote the lyric.
Yeah, the son wrote the lyrics. Yeah. He wrote the song and the lyrics, yes.
Yeah.
And then later on, to bring it back full circle, Marilyn Manson did a remake of the original song. What's going on? Happy Dinosaur 8000. Happy day to you, Tommy, and others. Good to see you, my friend.
Happy day to that.
Yeah, I remember that MASH stream. Yeah, man. I love MASH. I know some people, it's not their cup of tea, but I really did enjoy that show. Just as much as I enjoyed Weird Science.
Yeah, didn't you have the radar fucking dog? The action figure of radar.
Yeah, I did. I did somewhere. I don't remember if I dug it back out of my father's house. I did find the Klinger one. I think I found Pierce. I found Potter. But I couldn't seem to find all the rest of them. Like some of them just wound up missing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember that. The folders had the multiplication tables. The Jet Fighter Trapper Keeper. Nice. The hung dentist thought he was gay and wanted to die. Yeah. Jawbreaker was his name in the movie. Don't ask me how I remember that. It had a Lamborghini Countach on it. Nice. I loved MASH till Alan Alda took over. I like MASH all the way up to the end. Again, there was some stuff in some of the later seasons that was kind of like, yeah, absolutely. But I think overall, though, it was still an amazing show, and I think it had a fairly fitting ending.
Yeah, apparently, didn't it have like one of the biggest viewing figures for the last episode.
Oh yeah. It did very well. It had huge numbers for that last show. What's going on, Tony? Smash the like button.
Well, I mean,
good to see you, my friend.
Freaking MASH. I mean, they basically turned like a 3-year war into a 12-year show. You know.
Well, you know what? I mean, it wasn't really that hard, I don't think. I mean, there's a whole lot to talk about. And other shows have tried to do it with as far as like war themes. And I remember when I was younger, I used to watch this one called Tour of Duty. And it was right around the same time that they were coming out with all those Vietnam type shows.
You're red door and I want it painted black.
That was a damn good show. That was a damn good show. But like most people didn't realize how good of a show it was because they're like, oh, well, it's just another war show. Who wants to watch that? Man, you're missing out because the characters and some of the actors that were in there too that went on to do a lot of other things in movies and shit. Holy crap.
And
that was such a damn good show.
And they touched on some good subjects too. Like one of the ones I remember from that show is it focused around one of them had gotten hooked on freaking heroin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was an actual, an actual pretty serious problem during that time. Is a lot of the soldiers over there were getting freaking hooked on drugs and shit. Yeah.
Well, I remember watching it and not really too bothered about the program itself. Just watching the beginning titles because it had "Painted Black" by the Rolling Stones, and the way they did it and all, because like there was action scenes, like explosions in it, and so like the intro was real good. It was one of them where in Britain it was real late, like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, after 12 o'clock at midnight, it was shown. They were like 1 o'clock in the morning because it was like one where they didn't want kids watching it. And luckily enough, I was like 16, 17, so or 50. I was old enough to stay up at that time anyway.
Nana Reaper also says, Tour Duty, China Beach, etc., etc. There was a whole bunch of them out there. I still say that Tour Duty, I think personally, was one of the better ones because of the sheer amount of depth to the story that they actually had in it with those characters and following their stories. I thought that was great. I did wind up picking up a collection series of the damn show. Unfortunately, I can't watch it because like so many of these damn things, when they wound up converting these things from reel to reel or they converted them from VHS tapes into DVDs, they never got the sound right. So the music, the explosions and gunfire, extremely loud. Every time they go to talk and they have dialogue, you can't hear a damn word. And if you turn it up and you don't have if you're not ready fast enough with the clicker, you're going to go deaf from all the explosions. You might even get the cops called on you because somebody thinks that you're blowing shit up.
And on a night time, it's a fucking win. Your neighbours, if you like got neighbours that go to sleep early, and all the areas like gunshot and explosions in the middle of the night.
No, I know. That's why usually if it's like a war show like that, usually I won't watch them real late at night all the time.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it. It's just not worth the aggravation half the time. But every once in a while, I like being a smart ass and like put something on like an old Friday the 13th movie where somebody's screaming their bloody lungs out. Yeah. Turn it way up just to irritate people. Every once in a while. Remember that Kevin Bacon film, Stir of Echoes, about a retarded ghost that used the Stones painted black too? I do remember Stir of Echoes. The Unit. The reruns don't have Painted Black as a theme song. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, we lost the Shellback.
Well, that's how disgusting Shellback is, isn't he? He's complete.
Yeah. What? No song? I'm out of here.
And I don't know why they wouldn't do that, because they would have bought the rights, wouldn't they? And that, so they had the rights to play it. So.
Well, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, almost kind of like I don't know how to really excite it, because what they do is they actually get a contract to be able to acquire the rights, not so much to keep the song for all time to use, but basically it's getting loaned to them is the way you got to look at it. So after a certain amount of time, that contract will wear out. It's kind of the same thing that they had with Transformers when they had the original Shockwave toy, what came from this company called Toyco. So basically, Toyco licensed it off to Hasbro to repaint and put out as the Shockwave figure, while Toyco was still selling it to a few other places. They were selling it as the what was it called? The Magnum, Ultra Magnum, or Astro Magnum, and then they were selling it to Radio Shack as well. It was called the Tandy Man or Galactic something. I forget offhand. People were calling it Radio. What were they calling it? They were calling it Shackwave, is what they were calling it. And basically, it was the same thing, except it was a different color. Instead of the light up pieces being purple, I think they were either gray or like a very, very light pink.
Yeah. Just that color change in it makes all the difference.
I sure hope not happy. I'm really, I have talked about this over and over again. I am so sick of the reboots. You do not need to really remake these things every freaking couple generations. I know that there's people that out there that will argue that point to death. Oh, well, bring it out to a new generation so they could see. You know what? A lot of people are more than happy to go back and watch those films in the way they were originally intended to be seen. I do not have a problem going back and even watching an older black and white film. I don't care. If the story is good, the amount of CGI and the amount of effects doesn't really bother me if the story is good enough. And there are plenty of older films like that where the story is absolutely fine the way it is. It doesn't need to be redone with CGI, special effects, brand new actors. I don't need to see that. I really don't. And you know what? I don't care what they say. Taking a lot of these older movies like Weird Science, Breakfast Club, or any of these other ones, The Goonies, I don't care what it is. You do not need to remake them. They're absolutely fine the way they are. And every time they go to try to remake these things, they've shown over and over again that they don't know what the hell they're doing. This is why Friday the 13th, when they tried to set off and like reboot Friday the 13th, it fell on its damn face. Now, I heard that they're thinking about trying to do it again. Apparently, they didn't learn from the first time they did it. And you had the same thing with Friday the 13th. You had the same thing with the Amityville Horror. You had the same thing with Psycho. All these things failed because they tried to reboot them, and nobody wanted to see a reimagined version of something they already enjoyed years previously.
Yeah. And I don't think they'll ever reboot MASH, because it was one of them Vietnam films that, like, there's so much war politics going on in that the companies, I think, keep away from Vietnam films. And to get what's his name, the one who dressed up in a skirt and that is it Klingon? Klingon, yeah. They'd have to like cut him out, because it'd be like, oh, well, there's nothing funny about a man wearing a skirt.
Well, you know what they would do actually right now with all the easily offended automatons that are out there on Twitter and everything? If they seen that, they would get all mad. Their panties would get in a bunch, and they would say, "That's cultural appropriation. That's racist. That's sexist because he's not gay. He can't do that."
Yeah, he's a heterosexual male trying to abuse the rights of transgenders.
It's crazy. It's crazy too, and they think they think they have some kind of market on everything that happens out there in movies and everything. You know what? It's called a movie, and they're called actors because guess what? You ring retards. It's not real. I don't care what it says in the title, based on true events. Just because it says based on true events doesn't mean it happened exactly like the way it did, that you were seeing. And that doesn't mean that everybody involved in that is were really in a war or they like Misery. It wasn't like she was really going around capturing freaking writers and breaking their legs. Her actors is pretend.
Henry Cavill, he's not an alien from Krypton. So how can he get that part?
And he's not a Witcher either. And what's going on? Superman, Adam Shawhan. Yeah, the Shackwave phone. The Shackwave was absolutely hilarious. Hey, I think the Shackwave one from Radio Shack, it was gray, and I think that one actually had clear parts on that one. Like it had a clear blaster and a clear hand. Like those were clear.
Let me see if I can get a picture of it.
Happy Dinosaur. I find it funny Disney's plan for Star Wars didn't count for DVD. Well, they finally did start releasing DVDs, but guess what? Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. I know I don't. I finally watched the A-Team movie with Liam Neeson in it last night. I gave it a 6. I watched it. I thought it was okay. I just wasn't completely sold on it. Like the idea that it needed to be rebooted, but I wouldn't say it was bad, but I just didn't think it was necessary. Yeah, Vince Vaughn, the Psycho, was terrible. Absolutely. And it's the same thing with that Nightmare on Elm Street one. Oh, God. I refused to watch it, I think, for the longest. And it was put on over here at the house while I was actually editing videos. And I had my headphones on. I took my headphones off for a minute, looked over, and I seen this. I don't even know what to call this thing. This terrible, terrible movie on my TV. And I was like, bleh, bleh. I was like, put my headphones, went back into editing. Daytona Falls, what's going on? Good to see you.
Yeah,
Dogs, what's up? I guess one of your guinea pigs is a Rayless. I'm here. No, they're not. What's going on, Tim? Hell, I never stop. I laugh at myself all the time. Yeah, nothing is real. Based on a true story movie, just look at Patch Adams. Yeah, they always make changes to these things. And I think a lot of these people miss that point, or they forget that these people are trained pretenders. That's what actors are, to trained pretenders. Nothing is real. So to sit there and say, well, that person's not gay or that person's not this, it's just stupidity. It's absolute stupidity. And I mean, not only does it wind up screwing the people up who are actors out there in Hollywood that would like to be able to do stuff to have fun, but it screws up the people watching the shit, because now they have to worry about, oh, is he really trans? Is he really gay? Who cares? I don't care. I want good story. I want good characters. That's all I want.
Damn right.
Hey, Furry Kitten, what's going on? What's going on, Adam? How you doing?
Doing good. Yard work done. Burning. Got a good show on. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. Burn it. Burn it all down. Are we near Disney right now? I would like, if you were near Disney, I would say fan those flames. Fan those flames.
Yes. Now we finally got nice weather, man. So that's all I've been doing. Just yard work and getting stuff ready for the dogs. You know, the Weeneye dog clan, they're ready to come outside and party.
Nice. Do you got like a fenced off area for them to play in, so you don't have to watch?
Yeah, like, so here's the gym. This is the second garage, because there's the house, and then this area that's triple fenced in, this would be the dog area, so they get to run all in there. So that's where I've been burning earlier, getting that all taken care of for the puppies.
Nice.
And then, now I'm over here getting this kind of going, because, well, you know, we've only got like 2 days of nice weather and then rain again. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I know we're getting ready to head into the rainy season down here too. So,
hell yeah. I've still got shit from last year before. These are all leaves from before the trees were completely naked. So I've still got all of this shit to catch back up on. It's not a lot, but it's just enough of a pain in the ass where 2 days it's nice and 3 days it rains. So it's like it never gets done. So yeah.
And it never stops building up either. And
no.
Sci-Fi Nation says, that's why I'm skeptical of the Child's Play remake. Yeah. I think Child's Play was one of those ones too. I was never a huge fan of Child's Play. I thought it was okay, but yeah, remake something like that, I don't think it's necessary. I love this. Oh, go ahead, Jens.
I would say I know lasses that love Chucky and that, you know, because they love the Chucky's Bride and all this. Oh, all right, yeah.
Didn't
guess
they do a
some of those
TV
movies.
series too?
I want to say they did
Recently, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, because it was another one on it where I think there was something to do with I think Chucky killed a like gay person, and they're all kicking off because it was like, oh my god, the gay person on TV. Like it's a
Happy Dinosaur says, I love this picture of Robert Englund going around of him holding a sign saying the 2010 remake sucks. Yeah, of course it did. Because he wasn't in it. I don't care what you say. He was Freddy Krueger. And Tommy dropped the mic. No, Tommy didn't drop the mic. Not yet. Wait. If I really get going, then I'm going to drop the mic. And then all hell's going to break loose because I'm probably going to go on an epic rant. I can feel it building. Fire!
That's right. I need TP for my bunghole. I am the great Cornelio. I need TP for my bunghole. TP? TP for my bunghole?
Furry kitten. You mean Dustin Hoffman isn't trans? No. And I'm sure somewhere, someone on Twitter is probably getting upset about it. Who's that with the fire? That's Adam Shanahan. That's our good buddy with the Wiener Dog Clan.
That's right. Thought I'd share my lovely view as I join this lovely panel and awesome chat.
Solar Warden says it looks like you're about to set fire to the basketball hoop.
Well, that's the marker so that everybody realizes how high those flames are shooting. Because that's how it was when I bought the house. And I'm white. I don't play basketball. So no. But it works really good when those flames are shooting up as high as the basketball thing. It makes me kind of laugh.
Yeah, hey, I tell you something though. If you did get a basketball game going, who's ever doing the slam dunks, it'd be like interesting to see.
Fur Kitten says we're still in the rainy season here. It started around 846 AD. We expect it to end in about another 2 millennia.
Right.
No more remakes. Absolutely. You have to admit, Yennefer Tilly was hot back then, even as a 2-foot walking murderous doll.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first 2 Child's Play movies. I didn't watch the remake. Okay, you got the Shockwave up. That's like something new.
All right. Yeah, I want. I'll because I don't know.
And I don't even see. Yeah, I don't even see how they could call that a Shockwave. It's still purple.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because I know when they had the Kingdom line go. Oh, not Kingdom. That was part of the Siege line when they first did the Shockwave. So when they had the Siege Shockwave, they actually did a repainted one for them, and I think it was from like Hasbro Pulse or something like that. And they did a grayed out version. They did a grayed out version that was supposed to be like the Astra Magnum or whatever it is that they called it when it went to Radio Shack. Galactic something? Damn it. Yeah, it is a Transformer. Drink. That's right. Every time Transformers said on this stream, or any stream that I'm on and Wookiee is watching, there will be a drink. It's a new game. It's a fun game. This is not good because I'm endorsing alcoholism. My channel is going to be associated with alcoholism and guinea pigs.
This one looks a bit grayer. This one might be it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know some of you may have came in a little bit late and you may have missed it. We did have a little bit of a talk about Weird Science. Played a nice little video clip and a montage of some of the funnier scenes in the movie. And right now we got on this thing about Shockwave and what was the original Toyco version, which was called Astra Magnum. And then there was also Galactic Man, I believe he was called in Radio Shack, or Shockwave, as it were. Yeah, that's the original Shockwave. That's what, like, the purple hands and everything like that. Like, yeah, the one that was in Radio Shack was gray. It was a gray color. He had like clear hands and a clear gun post. But, nice. No worries, Tommy. My new morning show starting tomorrow is called The Morning Wake and Bake. Very nice. I know Snowed Up and Wards were doing one called the Wake and Bake show too, I believe. Or something that, or maybe it was just Wards was doing something like that. That's a barbecue in Peru. Oh no. I don't want to hear that kind of noise. I'm gonna have to go down to Peru and just assimilate the entire place. Yes, a whole family could play that game. Little Jimmy could just tip right over. Just tip the bottle. It always leads back to Transformers. Yeah, it always seems to. I don't know how it happens, but it does. Decepticons, Cave of Villains. Damn, y'all. What's up? What's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. I like to wake and bake. Just had my first kid. Awesome, man. Congratulations. I got the Shockwave Cloud 9. When I'm awake, bake. I need batteries. Yeah, there's a lot of these figures. I am going to be doing a small review on the original Shockwave coming up soon for the channel. That'd be on one of the our retro streams here. I'm going to do a little bit of a breakdown of what the figure looks like, how, you know, what I had to do to actually piece the one back together. And I tell you, if you are unfortunate enough to ever have to repair one of those older Transformers, especially a Shockwave, God bless you, because that thing sucks to take apart and put back together with all the springs that are inside that thing. There are so many of them inside two halves of that body shell to try to get into place and put the pieces back together. It's absurd. It's almost like you need about 4 hands to be able to get through everything. Yeah, congrats. Make sure you say congrats, man. Congrats on that. Ord's Wake and Bake had the least amount of baking I've ever seen. I had a Pac-Man smoke and plays for my channel the other day. Nice. But yeah, I think yeah, when I do that one, I think I'm going to break down everything about the original figure. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a breakdown again about the original Toyco version as well, with the Astro Magnum and the Radio Shack version. Because I know eventually they did lose the licensing and Hasbro could not actually remake those Transformers. And what's going on, Tony, from the Clown World Review?
That's all. What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Did you catch a little bit of the weird science when we started off?
I caught a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm just like getting home from work and yeah, getting cleaned up and ready to jump on. So
yeah, man.
One second.
All right. But oh god, man, I'm going to wind up. I'm going to wind up doing a full breakdown of that. I think I also got the newer versions as well. I think maybe one of these days I'm going to have to do a comparison of all the Shockwaves throughout all the years, and there was quite a few of them. I didn't get all of them, but I did get most of them. It gets expensive collecting all that shit after a while. I'm sure Decepticon knows what I'm talking about. Did you have anything to add about the weird signs? Because I know we were briefly talking about the TV show, and I wasn't overly familiar with it. And I know that you said that you do recall it.
Yeah, well, that was my first experience with weird science. It used to come on USA like Saturday nights around like 9 or 10 p.m. And you know, back then you couldn't like that was before they were dropping the S word on TV and all that good stuff. So that show was really edgy. Like I remember yeah, either way it attracted me as a teenager. I'm like, as a young teenager, like what the hell is this show? And started watching it, and then I later found out there was a movie. Maybe a couple months later, my buddy and I were watching. His mom came in. She's like, "Oh, they have a Weird Science show now," and told us about the movie. So then that was like a mission. We had to set out to find that movie and watch it, And yeah, it was just, I think the movie probably holds up better than the show. There's just I have a certain fondness for the show. It was part of my childhood, like back when I was watching like the Spider-Man series in the 90s and X-Men cartoon Saturday mornings and stuff. I'd spend my Saturday nights watching Weird Science. So yeah.
Yeah, that is one of those movies that I can go back and rewatch over and over again, and I don't think I've ever gotten bored. Like, even, how sometimes you have a movie and it's like, I don't know, I don't think I really feel like watching that movie again, but then you put it on anyway, and then you forget, like, how good the damn movie was, and then you just, like, glued.
Yes. Like, Chet turning into the frog or the pile of shit or whatever he was.
Yeah, I think it was a combination. It was like a
just a shit gay frog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious to me. It still is, just good times.
Yeah. I remember though, I didn't really find it all that sort of like appealing when it first sort of it took me a while but I was more into the action in that. But yeah, when I sat down to watch it though, I'm like, oh yeah, good film. Comedy in that, in action and family sort of thing. Oh,
look at that, Jens! You were getting a compliment.
Oh,
Jens is fucking sharp tonight.
Cheers, Nelson. Although Nelson is one of my like fucking fan favorites. Like, yeah, have to get him on one of my streams and that. Gonna do some stuff in that.
Freaking! I had to rewatch it a couple times. My eyes are squinted through half of Kelly's scenes.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't rebooted this, honestly. And in today's day and age, we'd probably get Lizzo.
Well, Lizzo would make a good Chet.
Would that be Lizzo with or without pants, though?
Oh God.
Either one is disgusting, so does it really matter at that point?
Yeah, it's like her pants have kind of become her through the years.
Oh yeah.
I think she's getting so big. She's making her pants look smaller every day.
Nana Reaper said, "Tony, don't say that too loud."
Yeah.
Right. Oh, jeez. That's funny. So I had to be an ass just because even though Mr. Etep Lukulian of the Place to Be Reviews isn't here, I had to share my photo of myself and Angela Straven because I know Tony has met Mr. Angela Straven. So I thought it would be fun to share it here just because. Why not? They called me the White Apollo Creed, baby.
Draven, he's such a cool guy. Like, so I went to pick him up from the Rio hotel and casino. I jump out of the SUV and it's like, "What's up, bro?" It's like right away. Like we had known each other for years in person, I guess. Just gave each other a hug and we just like there. You meet somebody offline or something. Sometimes there's like awkwardness there, or like yeah, definitely none of that. He's just. What you see is what you get with that guy. He's a real cool guy. Like, I can't wait to hang out with him again.
I know I felt bad because I couldn't make this last horror hound. And yes, that's horror with an R, not, the other kind of hooer.
No, I thought it was WH.
Yeah. Hooer hound. We're going to the hooer hound. Get us some
the Hewers. I want to go hang out at the Hewers, at the Hewer hound.
But I mean, I've known Justin Proper. I always called him Proper Jeremy because that's how I knew him, PJ. Anyway,
Proper Jenny?
Yes, Mr. Proper Jenny. We got to meet for the first time, and keep in mind, and this is known, if you know Justin Proper, he always gives me props for helping getting him started. It's myself, Mr. Peabody, DJD, the DJD show. he used to do Fandom Fridays, and people could come on and kind of test everything out and hang out and get a feel for the YouTube. That's how I met, Justin. And with Draven, it was, because of you, Tony, and ETEP and everything, and the chats, Tommy, just, the way that we all meet. And so it was great because I got to meet both of them in September last year. So it was just awesome. And then having drove up to ETEPs and whatnot and hang out with him. And one of these days I'm going to harass Tommy because I'm sure I'll be on his neck of the woods delivering puppies at some point.
Soul Assassin, and this pertains to what you were talking about. So Soul Assassin, what's going on, Soul Assassin? And Soul Assassin says, Huracan? Why wasn't I informed of this place? I told everybody, if you're ever in my neck of woods, don't be afraid to stop by. I mean, just because I do still have a lot of trees around me and you may or may not survive if you get on my nerves, you're always welcome.
Exactly.
I would love to see some of you guys stop by, and if I ever have the chance to get out and actually start visiting other people, I will do it. But unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck in a situation right now where I am not afforded the opportunity to leave because I got other people I got to take care of. So, what's going on? What about? Good to see you. So I actually, Horcon is pretty heavy with STDs, I hear. Yeah, make sure you get all your shots. Make sure you're up on all your shots before you go to Huracan and wear protection every single time. Chaos, what's up, buddy?
If you want to leave with all the diseases and collect them like Pokemon, you can. It's just,
got to get them all, right? Got to get them all. Oh, no. Love emoji Jeremy is in the house. Who's this proper Jeremy imposter? Blake, if you're chained to the radiator in the basement, Tommy, no, that'd be somebody else. We actually don't have basements in Florida, so I will dig a pit for somebody, though, if I have to. Get your boosters.
It's the water, isn't it? Like you dig so far and you hit the ocean, right? That's
the problem is everything is sand. So, once you start digging down to the sand, you start getting down far enough, you might hit the limestone, and it's just going to be a mess. So, we're going to move ahead away from weird science now, and I actually have a toy break, and it's going to lead into a secondary topic, which is a bit of a surprise because I didn't tell anybody what it is. So, the first toy break is right now.
So in 1988, Mattel tried a new line called the Food Fighters with guys such as Major Munch, Chip the Ripper, the Brigadier General, the Mean Wiener. A name that would not be allowed today because somebody would get offended, but Fat Frenchie, Sergeant Scoop, Taco Terror, Private Pizza, and Lieutenant Plague. There was also a guy called Hotcakes who was a stack of pancakes. This was a very interesting line. They were basically limited posable figures that was released by Mattel in an army style, which seemed to be very popular at the time. One of the things that did not last very long besides this line was a lot of the weapons that they came with. A lot of these things broke very easily or they got lost because they were incredibly small. Most of them also came with backpacks. And of course, as you can see, this lone helmet that's sitting over here, little helmets that popped off and sometimes would also get lost. But this was an interesting concept and an interesting line that unfortunately wound up going nowhere at all. I believe they also had a few mini vehicles and maybe even a small playset for this line, but once again, limited appeal, and it was dead on arrival. This one went bad in the fridge before it really ever went anywhere. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this blast from the past, and we'll see you with the next one.
I don't know how many of you guys remember those ones, but
was Sergeant Scoop played by Jimmy Kimmel? Like, they wouldn't have gotten away with that in this day and age. Like, wow.
No, they wouldn't have got away with a lot of that stuff that they were actually doing with that line. And yeah, you don't need basements in Florida. You got the swamp and gators for disposal. Disney STDs. Dig deep enough and you'll discover the origins of Florida, man. Right? That's easy, man.
Yeah. I'm getting like Ghostbusters Afterlife vibes. Like, yeah.
Keely Chow, what's up? Yeah, so some of the comments for that toy break, never heard of those toys. Why does a hot dog look like a mobster? Alas, the truth, what the fuck are those things? I in '88 I was 11. I don't remember this at all. Yeah, you know what? I was actually surprised that my brother had most of those. He does say that he did have the pancake ones too. I just couldn't find them. And one of the vehicles was actually an egg carton. And there was a play set that was partially a fridge, a microwave, and it looked, I think, like an oven or something. It was so weird. Yeah, I'm not a smart man, but I know blackface when I see it, Sergeant Scoop. I'm just a man playing another man who's playing a piece of food. The ice cream melt, though. Well, with the taco, the Latino representation is covered. Awesome. Keely Chow, I hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Yeah, so I had to pull this one up because I figured this was probably one of those rare and very obscure toy lines that a lot of people are going to know about. And I love to bring this up, and I love to see the reactions from people on the streams where there's like, God damn, you know, I was around. I don't remember seeing those yet. You may not have seen every single toy line that was out there. Some of these things were flash in the pans, and they were gone almost overnight.
But it's a sign of it being one of the great times for toys, you know, if not the greatest, because there was a lot of creativity in our, you know, just art going into these at the time. You know, it's like when certain that happened with movies, music, you know, when an industry is just finding its feet and really, you know, exploding on the scene. I mean, they'll try all kinds of different innovative and really cool tricks, but then they kind of fall into some pattern. Money becomes more important. Like, money is always important, but it just becomes the only goal, I guess. And you know, you kind of get the kids inheriting the fortune with the original people running the business leaving, and a newer breed coming in, and eventually yeah, you don't get cool little products like this, cool lines like this. Like back in the 80s, they were making toys and cartoons for like everything.
Well, I think that's one of the things, Tony, is you're talking about imagination, ingenuity, and willing to go outside the box. And that's a lot of things. Those are a lot of things that all these people today are afraid to do. And that's why you get this substandard crap that we have that right now when it's all over entertainment, because nobody is willing at all to take a risk and try something different, something unexplored. And that's why everything is so homogenous when it comes to most of the entertainment nowadays.
We're culturally stagnant, and it's like toys is one thing, and you can see it in there. You can see it in our television shows. But I mean, look around at any of the newer houses built since the 90s. They're all the same thing, you know. They're just like these gray stucco blocks with maybe a little bit of front yard and backyard, you know, compared to when you used to drive down the street of an older neighborhood. And I mean, every house was distinct. It had personality. It was different. And, you know, it's the same thing with toys and just everything else. You know, it's cultural stagnation. And it's what happens when you move businessmen into the place of creatives, you know?
Yeah, they don't understand what that stuff is. I'm Not Creative 22. Good to see you, my friend. Bone, yeah, they should recruit Mr. Potato Head. It looks to be about the same size. Actually, these figures are actually pretty tiny. Most of these things, they're wider than a G.I. Joe, but most of them are shorter than an actual G.I. Joe figure. They're really not that big. Most of them are actually pretty small.
So a whole new meaning to the word small fry.
Exactly. And we got Shellback back, too. What's going on, Shellback?
Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked.
Turtle power, baby. We got turtles, we got wiener dogs, and we got guinea pigs, along with Clown World reviews, and of course, our good friend from across the pond. I mean, you can't get any better than this, man. You just can't.
Absolutely not. Talking about weird, obscure toy lines, too. And thanks for bringing that up, Jens. Yeah, like I know my brother has that figure. He at least he's sure that he had it somewhere, but I just couldn't seem to find it. So I just grabbed all the ones I could find with all the weapons that I could find. I did find out, unfortunately, last night though, that a couple of the weapons were broken. I thought that I could use super glue on it. It turns out, I don't know if you guys have ever run in this trying to repair things that are plastic. There's certain plastic that they used to use back in the day that were extremely oily. And I don't care what kind of super glue you use on them, it will not take.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the weapons for these food fighters are that kind of type of plastic. I wound up with super glue all over my fingers. My fingers were all stuck together like I was cramped up with cerebral palsy or something. It was ridiculous.
Have you tried a very light sanding to the pieces of plastic that you want to adhere, that you want to stick together?
No, that was next. That was next. But I mean, it was late at night, and I just wasn't going to mess with it anymore last night.
I've been watching some tip things, and to join plastic together, there's like a little gadget like this, like websites make like little daft gadgets from lighters and that, and it was basically a lighter that the sort of stuck two nails either side and put a a staple clip. What you have a staple gun, but they just use like the metal clip, and they'd warm up the metal clip and then just press it into the plastic and like melt the metal clip into the plastic.
Nice.
And then sort of like melt it over it and cover it up, and it sort of like stuck it together.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually going to look at a few other things, Nano Raper, but last night it was just I was trying to get a quick fix so I can get it for the video, because I really didn't want to be waiting to the last minute and trying to film shit today and try to get it up on the channel, because I never know how the internet was going to act. So it was a thing that I tried to hurry up and tried to get last night, and when it didn't work, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to unstick my fingers, sand all the glue off them, since before my daughter left, apparently she had used the last of the the nail polish, the acetone. She used the last of the acetone, and that's the best thing, super glue off your fingers. So I had to sit there with a nail file and file all the glue off my fingers last night. And Pacific 414, what's going on? And welcome.
Welcome. See, all I could think of when you mentioned super glue was that the movie American Pie, dude. I'm glued. The second one, like, that's all I could think of. Tommy glued, guinea pigs going nuts because Tommy glued himself to himself. You know,
Jesus.
You all know the original intent for super glue, right?
It wasn't to put a construction helmet and super glue it to a beam and then let it lift up and you not fall.
Yeah, no, They used it. They used it in wartime to basically as a quick stitch for people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glue your wounds, baby.
Yeah,
shellback.
Back to
The
that though.
weirdest. Go ahead, Jens.
I was saying, sometimes if you got a cut and that, but the swelling there that they can't really stitch it up because then it like splits your skin. They do use super glue now, sort of thing.
Yep.
Instead of stitching.
That was one of the weirdest things I ever had happen to me was I basically busted my knuckle on my S10, and I had turned and I got a nice little slice, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go in and get a couple stitches, and they glued me, and I was like, I've never been glued. I've been stitched about 1,000 times, but yeah, the new way was the glue way, baby, and I was just like, oh, all right, because I have a Frankenstein pinky. It got
Now
caught in a dye machine years ago, so it sticks out way off, and it was so swollen at the time that it was a huge pinky, giggity. But yeah, it sucked, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, I had fun. It's this guy here. He just doesn't really move very well, and he doesn't play well with others. He got crunched a couple of times. But
so no shocker for you.
Nah, shit, I need stitches again. And they're like, no, we no longer stitch, sir. We glue you.
I need to ask before we get too far away from it, who were the antagonists for those fast food action figures? Like,
well, one side actually had the black helmets. I believe that they were the bad guys, and they were supposed to be like the terrorists, and the ones with the green helmets were supposed to be the good guys.
Okay.
So the greenies were the good guys, and the black helmet guys were the bad guys. I got you.
Right. And
violence.
Apparently, the fatties wound up being the bad guys because Fat Frenchie was a bad guy. He had a black helmet.
Okay.
And he was French. So there you go.
Oui. That's a super shocker. 3 in the pink and 2 in the stink. Whoa! Bob Culture Curator, what's going on? Good to see you. At least Tommy did not put Gorilla Glue in his hair like the Gorilla Glue. I would not do that. Awesome one. What up? And what did I see? Somebody else said something about guinea pigs. I prefer Band-Aids over. I'm allergic to most adhesives. The super shocker. Yeah. There was something else. Something about putting. Oh, here it is. Soul Assassin, keep the Gorilla Glue away from the guinea pig hair. Absolutely. I would never go anywhere near them. And Chris Fisk also said, while scouring some 3D resin printing forums, I came across a racist Mr. Potato Head that has a variety of horribly hilarious, stereotypical facial pieces. You can even pop a Yarmulke on them to his head. And Wookie says, I use super glue on the model I'm building. So what? You just got to be careful and not glue your fingers to it. Well, see, that was, and I know some people were talking about putting pins in there. Unfortunately, these guns are small. Think about the size of a G.I. Joe weapon. There's no way to really drill into something that small and put a pin in it. They're way too small and they're way too fragile to actually do that. I mean, you got to remember, these things are from the 80s. So whatever I do to them, it's got to be thought out, like maybe you're scuffing them up a little bit or finding just a different type of glue. I've seen some people had recommend using like modeling glue and stuff like that. So I'm going to try a couple other things because I just used like the fastest thing I possibly had, which was a regular super glue, which 9 times out of 10 is shit. But damn hot, that glued the other year. Damn doctor and A&E didn't listen to either the nurse, the Vaseline in my eyes first. 8 hours trying to free my eyelids. Yikes! It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Hello there. I hope you were doing well. So, go ahead.
I'm just been sitting here envisioning Adam laying on the floor like Pete Venkman going, I got glued.
Mr. Potato is racist. Cut open any potato and what color is it? Oh no. Nice. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to tag when you're on the phone. I know I've had that problem myself. So this is
stupid.
This is today's surprise topic, and that's why I kind of led in with the food fighters and with the whole army theme. So this one I didn't announce. I thought it would just be fun to talk about this one. I haven't talked about this one in a long time. And what's going on, Captain Trek? Good to see you. So we're going to get into this one and see how you guys get hit in the feels with this one.
So today we will be talking about the Michael Herr, Gustav Hasford, and Stanley Kubrick written and based on the novel The Short Timers by Gustav Hasford, 1987's Full Metal Jacket, starring Matthew Modine as Private Joker, Adam Baldwin as Animal Mother, Vincent D'Onofrio as Private Pyle, R. Lee Ermey as Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, Dorian Harwood as 8-Ball, Kevin Major Howard as Rafterman, Arliss Howard as Private Cowboy, Ed Ross as Lieutenant Touchdown, John Terry as Lieutenant Lockhart, and a whole host of other cast members that filled out the roles and made this movie exactly what it was. The story of this movie starts and revolves around the raw recruits and their basic training in Paris Island.
How tall are you, Private? Sir, 5'9", sir! 5'9". I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
The hard-nosed, no-nonsense Gunnery Sergeant Hartman leading the way.
I admire your honesty. Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
Coming down on these raw recruits at every turn.
Sir, Texas, sir! Holy dog shit. Texas, only steers and queers come from Texas, Private Cowboy. And you don't much look like a steer to me, so that kind of narrows it down.
This, of course, would not be allowed in today's military because too many people's feels might get hurt. But during the time that this movie was set, this was actually still quite the norm for military training. Private Joker at every turn seems to find his way to irritate the gunnery sergeant, and Private Piles, with his ineptness,
Sir, because I'm too heavy, sir! Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pyle!
just seems to infuriate the gunnery sergeant to the point that he actually comes down so hard on Pyle.
Do you suck dicks? Sir, no, sir! Bullshit, I'll bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Did your parents have any children that lived? Sir, yes, sir! I bet they regret that.
He eventually snaps and he winds up killing the gunnery sergeant and himself.
I am in a world of shit.
The story actually follows a small frame of time revolving around their tour in Vietnam. The movie shows some of the struggles that these soldiers actually underwent in Vietnam to a degree, and the end climactic battle is actually a single sniper who winds up taking out a lot of members of the platoon before she herself was taken out. This movie is not just about war, but it's also the effects of war on the soldier in particular, especially Joker, who is the main character, who it is following throughout the entire movie.
So how's that for a surprise one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, oh yeah, what's this? They're like, oh yeah, full motor jacket. Yeah. But all on the 4th of July. Fucking great sound track to that. Yeah. Oh.
That's one of the best war movies ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is another one of those type of movies, much like Weird Science, where you think like, oh, you know, I've seen that a million times. I can't possibly sit through it again. But then once you start sitting down and watching it again, you can't turn it off. It's
man.
So damn from beginning to end.
But I don't know. It's which I don't know. I think in the I think in that clip you said 8-Ball, but I want to say that that one black guy and in the basic training, that one black guy, he called him Snowball.
Well, that's a different guy. That's a different character.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. 8-Ball is actually the one when they actually go out with the platoon in Vietnam. 8-Ball is because it's Doc J and 8-Ball are the first two to get taken down by the sniper.
I couldn't tell. Hold on, I gotta duck out for a minute.
Okay, no problem. Michaela Yolin, what's going on? Welcome. Chris Fisk, right quick before we get to you guys. Useless trivia. Joker's glasses weren't regulation in real military. He'd have been issued the thick black-rimmed glasses paid for by Uncle Sam. Nice. Thank you for that, Chris. Why aren't you up here talking about that? Don't tell me you're on your exercise machine. So thoughts on this one? I mean, I know, once again, this one has so many quotable lines in this, especially just going through the basic training alone. Some of the stuff that Harley Ermey says to those raw recruits is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, there was comedy bits in it. You showed the clip where he finds a donut, and it's one of them in the army. You have to do everything they say, and so you pinching a donut from the canteen and stashing it in your your clothes box or whatever.
Foot Locker. Yeah. Foot Locker.
Yeah. It's like Foot Locker. It can just totally fuck up your day because then they have to do cleaning and that. And he's giving him the shit like, what the fuck is this? A donut? And that, and he's like kicking up. You're thinking, oh, just a donut. Like, what's the big deal? But in the army, real big deal that
it wasn't just any donut. It was a jelly donut. A jelly donut in your Foot Locker, Private Pile. And why can't you have a jelly donut, Private Pile? Because I'm overweight. Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pile.
Even if you want overweight, I don't think you're allowed to stash donuts in your book because it's one of them where it can cause other problems or whatever. So, but the thingy, don't they get them to make do extra chores and that because he nicked a donut, and so they all beat him up with the soap and the sock and the soap.
Yeah, when he was sitting there eating it and everybody else is having to work, I think it was the donut. I could be wrong. I can't remember, but he's eating and everybody else is being punished. Oh yeah. And then when they beat him with the soap socks, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's one of them where I saw it one time in one of them army recruit sort of programs where they'd get a bunch of youths and that, and one of them, he was quitting, right? So because he was quitting, it went, all right then, you're letting your teammates down. Go in there and just wreck all their beds and that. And so when they come back from whatever training that was on, they had to remake their beds and everything, and they just made it crash it. And so I think you saw the recruits when they came in expecting, oh yeah, their bunks to be fine and that as they left them. Coming in like, what's all this? And the mattress was thrown on the floor and everything.
Tony, what are your thoughts on this movie?
Good talk, Tony. I don't think he's back yet, Tommy.
No, okay. I thought maybe he came back. No problem. Adam, go over to you.
Man, I love it, man. It's that Hamburger Hill. There are so many good war movies. This is one of them, though, that just, I showed this to my son before he went into the military. I showed it to another friend of mine that was younger before he went into the military. And granted, it's dated. We're not in Vietnam anymore, and drill sergeants aren't quite as bad as Gunny was. But dude, it put things in perspective. Dougie went to the Navy, and after basic training and everything, he's still in the military. As a matter of fact, I believe he's in Hawaii right now. But he said that's their jobs, man. They break you down and build you back up. And if you can't take it, there's always the pile way out, except for normally you don't shoot the drill instructor and then yourself, you just leave. So in the modern era, if you will.
Yeah.
But
it was like that in A Few Good Men. It was basically the courtroom drama of that sort of situation where, if you join in the army, they do put you through a lot of shit. So when you're on the field of battle, you aren't going to crack as easy. But some people crack before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's kind of like one of those things. I don't think no matter how much training you get, you don't really know how you're going to react until you actually get put in that kind of situation. And I think that's something that this movie actually broke down fairly well, because everybody thought that they were going to be able to handle it until they were actually in the midst of it. And some people actually surprised you, like, you know, Rafter Man taking the shots. But of course, his attitude afterward kind of exposes him that he was more scared than he was letting on to be.
Right.
Well, you know that you can have the biggest baddest dude, you know, in freaking boot camp, right? And then when they're actually out in the freaking, you know, out in the shit, you know, that's the guy that fucking, you know, tucks himself up into the fetal position, you know, and
right, or runs and goes AWOL.
Yeah. But I think it all with Full Metal Jacket, that Boyle's character, his sort of like mistake was he was real good at shooting, because in the film he's like one of the best shooters in that, but he just can't do the physical training, and so he should have like gone to the gym a bit before going into the army, and he might have like got a successful career. But it was one of them where he didn't realize, because like I'd seen a lot of army films to realize that if you're going in the army, you've got to do like 6 miles runs in the morning, and that's just for starters. And so where Boyle's character, I think he was one of where he thought he'd just go in the army and like just be able to eat his donuts, but because he was real good at shooting,
right,
like, oh,
right. If only all of the militaries were really like Stripes.
Yeah, right. Nope. Soul Assassin has got one for everybody up here. I'd like to get everybody's answer on this one. So, R. Lee Ermey versus Clint Eastwood from Heartbreak Ridge. Which drill sergeant would you all rather have? God, that's a good one. I really did like Clint Eastwood's version of Drill Sergeant in Heartbreak Ridge. I mean, I think he was hilarious. I think I would go with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, because he was like a father figure. He like beat up what was that big dude called? Shit.
Oh yeah, the big muscle bound guy.
Yeah.
Swede.
The Swede,
yes.
Yeah, Swede.
Yeah, he beat up Swede, but that's because Swede was fucking like in his face, wasn't he? He sort of like told Clint Eastwood to fuck off, and Clint Eastwood was like, "I'm your drill sergeant, son." Crack. And
yeah, I think Gunny Highway. I think Gunny Highway was a little bit more, you know, a little bit more subtle than shit. What was his name? Hartman?
Yeah, Hartman.
Yeah. I think Highway was a little bit more subtle than Hartman, you know. But he was still just as tough though, you know, because he's like, you know, like it's that scene in particular, you know, he freaking you know, he put Swede in his fucking place, you know. So.
Oh yeah, it's kind of one of those questions where I gotta ask: Are we living out that same movie that we're in? Because I'm sorry, if that's the case, you got to go with Gunny, because at least he's dead within 15 minutes. So you got to put up. I mean, don't get me wrong, both great actors, but you know, Gunny was the real deal. So if I'm going to go to war, I'm going to want to be with Gunny. But if we're playing out the movie, definitely Gunny, because you know he's in and out a lot quicker. I think Clint did a great job playing the role. I truly do. I think he, you know, if that was all him or just because you know damn well he knows a lot of people, so you know he had to know drill sergeants, Mr. Eastwood. So.
Yeah, well, Clint Eastwood, he done a few war movies, hadn't he, in cowboy films where he had to be like man up in that, because like horse riding and that is one of them where you you can't be a pussy, especially if you're going to be doing like fast horse riding, because
Oh yeah.
But
Clown World review. Did you make it back, Tony? Oh,
I don't think so.
I would go with Eastwood because he seemed like the easier drill sergeant to be under. Could you thinking the dude? He was even wearing an earring, and that. But
yeah, he yanked that shit right out too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the reasons I would have chose the characterization of the Gunny and Heartbreak Ridge as far as Clint Eastwood was concerned is because he wasn't quite as loud as Heartland in Full Metal Jacket. He didn't need to be.
No.
He was that quiet tough. He's like, I'm going to show you, as opposed to just spout off at the mouth. And I think that's why I would have chose him over the gunnery sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. That is my reasoning behind it.
A lot of the time, that's worse, because you're like, this guy is so freaking even keeled, but the shit that he's saying, it's like.
I liked thingy, that black dude in An Officer and a Gentleman that kicks Richard Gere in the balls because he has a fight with him, doesn't he? He's like, come on then. Now that's a sergeant. Now I definitely don't want to be under his fucking command.
No Soul Brother. Oh! You want the No Soul Brother stuff? I do have a mini clip for that, so I want to go around and get everybody else's thoughts on Full Metal Jacket, and I'm going to play this mini clip.
YouTube, cool.
Yeah, great film, and that it was one of them films that won Oscars and that because it was like really sort of true to life and that sort of like good enough that like the Ponzi sort of we need it to be realistic sort of thing. We don't want fucking Terminator 2 sort of shit. They fucking loved it, and people are like because it had some nice fucking explosions and war fucking scenes that was like pretty realistic and that.
Well, you know another one that did it like as far as like war scenes being really gritty and being really like nasty looking and probably getting really close to what it really looked like was Hamburger Hill. That's another one of those Vietnam type movies that is extremely overlooked, but holy crap, is that a dark movie?
Yeah. I brought it up earlier too, man. It's one of my favorites to go in that list. When you've got a top 5 to pick from, and it's not something that's simple to do because there are a lot of really good war films out there. It really depends on your taste for the genre.
I don't recall ever watching Hamburger Hill actually.
Well, it's basically just seeing people getting teared into hamburgers.
Yeah. We're going to start putting dog tags on their ankles because here's a body with no fucking head and no dog tags, and they had no idea who it was.
Yeah, Doc in that one, yeah. That was such a gritty movie.
Yep.
Okay, I keep seeing that. Me love you long time. I'm going to be getting to that in a minute. Go ahead, Superfan.
So, and I mean, it's even when you go to Band of Brothers, those were decent series that they made that felt proper to the time that it would have happened in with a version of them filming it in the future, right? So I felt those were really good series. When we go back to these movies, they are dated again because of the time frame, but they're still good movies. They're written well. You still have good stories within the movie. As you had stated, look at how many people that one sniper gal got. She got quite a few of them. And throughout that whole movie, you thought, oh, these guys are going to make it. And then they don't, which just like real war. I mean, my father was a Vietnam vet, which explains why he was so fucked up, period. End of it. I mean, I accepted the man for who he was. But at the end
how
of the
did he
day,
feel about Jane Fonda?
It'd be no different though. If all of us were on the line and with Shellback, I know you served, but all of us on the line and then a bullet comes through and then one of us is gone. I mean, that shit's going to eat at you, period. End of it. There's no way it wouldn't. we've all become friends due to this silly platform, but so many of us have become real friends. So, you know, it's like all of a sudden, boom, one of us is gone, you know, and we've dealt with that, but not in a war perspective, if you will. So, yeah, I feel if you watch those movies, you get a good feel of what it was like during that time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about, I would say, it's like that pattern speech that he does where he's like, oh, yeah, you'll turn and see your face, your friend's face filled with mush. And it's like, oh, yeah, shit. That's reality of the war.
Yeah, right, Wookie. I hear you. You don't even mention that bitch's name in the VFW here. Yeah, Hanoi Jane. Yeah, I can't even. Tony, any thoughts on a Full Metal Jacket? Because I seen a few things in the chat, and I do have something special planned for everybody that brought up all those comments.
You know, this is one of those movies I've seen it a couple times, you know, when I was younger. I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket in like 20 years now. I know I liked it. I need to go back and watch some movies for real. I just remember it was a really good movie. I was probably a little too young back then to really I'm saying 20 years. I'm 40 years old. It's been like 25, 30 years since I've seen that movie. Yeah, I need to go back and watch it because I know there was a lot that I was probably too young to appreciate at the time. But yeah.
Well, this like a lot of those other movies, I do believe, Tony, like Weird Science, it's kind of one of the ones that always seems to surprise you every time you go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
could see that.
It is an adult film though, because I watched it. I remember when it got released, sort of thing, and I wasn't really much into war films and that because I preferred more sort of like action dudes, like just kicking ass and that. And then I know, like with war films, especially like it's a bit of a real, and so it is an adult film where it is sort of appreciated more by adults when you see it.
I'm not thinking of something else, right? This is the one where they put all the bars of soap into the pillowcase and beat the fat kid. Yeah,
because he'd stolen a donut and hid it in his foot locker thing.
No, it wasn't just a donut. It was everything else that he kept screwing up, and they were getting punished for it. So,
yeah. But the donut one was the fucking tipping point because it was when he was like sat just eating it because the drill sergeant said to him, "Though, no, you don't do shit. You just fucking eat that donut."
He said his exact words were, "They're paying for it. You eat it."
Yeah. So really, it's all you have to do, wasn't it? When you sit there and eat it, but it's one of them tactics out in the army that make you bond together because you just fucking will rather bond together and do it, or you'll get kicked out because it'll be like so much of a soap battering.
Yeah, one of the things that I said a lot after I saw that movie was like, especially if there was one around, and be like, "Is that a jelly donut?" Like you just had to yell it out, you know, just like old Gunny. You know? Is that a jelly donut?
Yeah, I remember the song that they released. Where like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
and got a #1 hit from it. Like Britain, I think in America and all.
Nice. No, Shellback, to answer your question, it's not a jelly donut. It's a custard donut.
Yeah. But what was that? On another good one, you know, when the cadence and they were inside the barracks, but you know the old this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely. Well, I mean, we also got good stuff. You know, we had the Chuck Norris stuff. We had the Missing in Action movie. I mean, we had a lot of good movies, man. You know, when I think back about it.
I'm sorry, Adam. Didn't they do that jingle in Child's Play 3 as well? This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Yeah.
This is for fun. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
This is for fighting. This is for fun. I could see that in Child's Play 3.
Yeah, and where they were in military school. I think they did it there too.
Oh, well, unfortunately, it's becoming a new rallying cry for the women's whippings that are fighting against the lesbians that refuse to go down on them. But
wow.
Talk
this
about
is a
getting
job
licked
for
in
the
wrong
Keen
way.
Storian.
Yeah, except they don't believe in rifles. So
They just don't believe you should have rifles. They believe in them for themselves.
Well, they're more along the lines. They like them finger pistols so they can finger bang you.
Oh man! Hey, you know, I'm gonna play this mini clip real quick. I want to bring some more laughs to the chat, so here we go with this one.
Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time. $5 each. Me sucky.
Sucky, funky, smoke cigarette in the pushy. She give you everything you want. Long time.
Oh, shit. This baby's hand look like she can suck the chrome off a trailer hitch.
She said, no boom boom with her brother.
What the motherfucker?
She said, so brother, chupoku.
What is this, man?
What you got there, Chief? Do you want number one, funky?
What we have here, little yellow sister, is a magnificent specimen of pure Alabama black snake, but ain't too goddamn buku.
Hells yeah. I was hoping, Tommy, you would have that little bit of that clip in there. You know, you too big. No, the brother too big. I was like, yeah, there you go, Tommy. There's your comeback for everybody giving you shit. She wouldn't even take my shit because it was too big, baby.
Ain't no goddamn tubuku.
Well, I actually have another small clip that I put together. I didn't upload it because that was like something I just uploaded extra today. So I had another one where he's actually it's got a gun and he's sitting there and at a different guy's face. Are you a faggot? And this, that, and the other thing. And I got the 8-ball like, man, what is this, man? And just like doing that over and over again. It's kind of ridiculous and funny to watch, but I didn't have a chance to upload that one. But yeah, that shit's pretty funny.
You're a Peter Puffer?
Yeah. Yeah, your days of banging old Mary Jane Rotten Crotch to her pretty pink panties are over. Yeah, the 2 live cassette tape. Yeah, I remember back in the day when they were doing those things, they had these little minis out. They were basically cardboard case tapes that had 2 songs on them.
Like the singles, right?
Yes, the little singles.
Yeah, it'd have the popular song and then another song they would try to get to really catch on.
No, yeah, because if they just have one song, you know, it's not really going to do well for their album sales. So they got to push another song on there.
We played the shit out of that song back in the day too.
Yes.
I bought Megadeth, No More Mr. Nice Guy on single tape.
Nice.
Well, wasn't it only originally released for the Shocker movie?
Yeah, I think it might have been. Because I know it was a cover, wasn't it? Because it was originally done by Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I remember. I don't know if I ever heard Megadeth's version. But.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tommy. I think it was the Shocker movie, which was again another good movie that's hilariously bad.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You want to talk about hilariously bad horror movies, and I'm always pushing this one because I just want to hear about what somebody's reaction is going to be to the last scene in the movie. You got to watch the very first Sleepaway Camp. That's all I'm saying. For those of you who have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about with that end scene. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I double dog dare you.
And I triple guinea pig dare you.
Oh. That's a lot of guinea pigs.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got to have a hobby. Hey, look, I will take our mental diseases that we here, we 4 here, or we 5 here have, over the other kind of actual mental diseases that are happening in the world today. I know Tony, he loves to be in his car and go get stuff for people because he's a good fella. Jens, he's always doing cool party stuff. I've known Shellback for a while. Tommy, I know you're just elbows and knees deep in the guinea pig hair, taking care of that. And you know me, I'm just surrounded by wiener dogs. So yeah, I will take all of us together as a collective because it's way better than the crazy world we deal with.
It's a lot better than dealing with the lunatics over on Twitter. Holy crap. Some of those narcissists over there, they drive me absolutely bonkers. And every once in a while, I feel the need to nibble out at them.
Yeah.
And Tony's car is the best car because it's a clown car and there's always room in the clown car.
Yeah, like it's whenever I go anywhere, I don't even know where they come from. Like I just get out of the car and here comes like 18 clowns behind me.
Because we put that word out about, Tony Tone Deaf in the Clown World Review, baby.
Hell yeah. Yes, the clown mobile.
I mean, that's your fault for driving a van with no windows in it, and on the side it says "Down to Clown." I mean, it makes it easy to find you, buddy.
Yeah, I get a lot of unwanted attention with that.
No, it's definitely some good stuff. And as far as like recapping the 2 movies that we talked about tonight, if you haven't seen this one, if you're catching this one on a replay and you're catching us late, go rewind to the beginning, catch everything about Weird Science, catch the talks about Full Metal Jacket and some of the clips that we had on there to get you guys into the mood for stuff like that, to rewatch some of these old classics and enjoy them for exactly what they are, without the ridiculousness of Hollywood needing to remake it so you feel like you can watch it at this point in time. Go ahead and do that. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Guys, gotta run. Have a great night. You take care.
Have a good night.
Take care, Courtney. Always good to see you around.
And I know later on tonight, Shellback is going to be having his Yelling at Park Cars warm up. And tonight's topic will be, what will it be, Shellback?
Okay, groomer.
Ear aids, as in like to hear better. Could you just? I've got earphones in. Tommy, what was that?
What happened? I don't know what happened, man. That wasn't my fault. That was guinea pigs. They told me to do it. We are mentally and computer linked. So if they say they weak it out and I have to do it, I have to do it. This is not my fault. Oh man, yeah. It was good. I'm not creative. I love that film, and the talk that we had about it was pretty good. So many good memories in that film, like just even catching all the clips that I prepare for it. And that's one of the things that I like to do when I prepare these things and I prepare all the clips. I want to get all the moments that I know for myself that I still giggle at every single time that I watch these movies, or certain impactful moments in the movie that actually, resonate with me. And that's everything that I try to put in every single one of these clips. And I try to put the best out there that I can. Because you know what? I want the nostalgia to be captured. I want everybody to be talking about these films again. I want everybody to pay attention to the greatness of these films and why they don't need to be remade. Because we always have to revisit the past to understand why we're protecting it today.
Yeah. It's like if they get it right the first time, there's no need for reboot. And even if they don't, there's no need for reboots. Fucking think of something original, you creative hacks. You garbage people who sit around like, well, people like this was popular, let's do that. No.
Well, I'm good with I'm good with like sequels, if it's a continuation of the story, and if it's done right, but the quote unquote, modern day version or whatever of the original story, you don't really necessarily need that.
Yeah, it doesn't even involve the character like with He-Man. It was like, oh yeah, episode 1, He-Man dies. Episode 2, T-Leb basically becomes He-Man.
Well, I think the problem is, though, look at when these films that we love, right, were made and the time frames that they were made in. And then they're trying to steal the nostalgia, and then they produce just this gigantic pile of shit. And I know I'm the one with the filthy mouth, and I apologize, but it's just shit. How about you come up with your own damn ideas and make something fresh? I hear ETEP all the time, the stuff he's doing, this Bel Air that is nothing like Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's just, come on, how can you mess that up? Disney, you had a company where you could just print money with Star Wars, and you fucked that up tremendously, not to go on a Star Wars kick. But again, we have movies that we love from 70s, 80s, maybe even up to the 90s, where we had good writing and good ideas and a point to not be political or whatever with the alphabet, LGBTQ IRS bullshit. I don't care who you're fucking. I don't care who you're kissing. As long as you're not Tommy and you're glued yourself together accidentally, or you're glued to a guinea pig, like that would be hilarious. But yeah, when you said your daughter had taken all the, the nail polish removed, yeah, you would have been screwed there, pal. That would suck. But I think that's what the problem is. We're stuck, like Tony was saying. They don't know what to do. There isn't an original idea because they have ripped off almost everything, and it has just failed time and time again. And this doesn't just go for us older guys. The younger generations are starting to find it out too. And by Tommy doing this for younger audiences that catch this show, it gives them an idea of stuff and how great it was. So thanks to you doing this, it spreads the word, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing is them putting their agenda to it. That's
I know the Fresh
Prince
that's
what fucked it up.
Yeah, the Fresh Prince one really shows up because the original was a comedy about a black family sort of in a rich neighborhood in that. And I hadn't seen the remake, but I saw enough of it to know it's not much of a comedy, and it's probably about a black family in a white racist neighborhood now.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely I haven't seen any of it, and it's definitely a drama.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they, from what I've heard, that they've turned, the Uncle Phil character into a shady guy and all this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, let's not, let's not try and deviate from, from the stereotypes of,
yeah.
Well, that was what? That was the 90s that the Fresh Prince came out? Am I right? Okay. So Fresh
Late
Prince came
80s,
out. Will Smith was a part of that, and it was successful, and we loved it. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter that it was a black family, right? Like that episode where Will's father comes on and then leaves him. Like my dad wasn't around at all. I don't make excuses for it, but it just, that was heartfelt. And anybody that's been bounced around into, you had to leave your family and go stay with somebody else and, or whatever, you could feel off that show, and you could get comedy, as you said, it was a comedy first and foremost, where they change it to today's political standpoints and everything. And, Uncle Phil, you just wanted a big old hug from him, right? Like that's what you got from the character. At least I did off the character from the show.
Yeah,
he was stern, but he was loving. You know?
He was like the uncle. To get money to everyone, well, apart from his own kids.
Well, the thing is, it's still got. They still, you know, that original show. They still got you in the feels from time to time. You know.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And that's the thing, to teach lessons. You go back to the Jeffersons, you can go back to so many other TV series that us gentlemen have grown up with. And if you compare what we grew up to the garbage, that's why I got rid of cable in 2015, 2016 timeframe, because it was all garbage. Like, I couldn't stand the entertainment anymore. It just wasn't entertaining. I found more entertainment on YouTube than I did paying for cable, so I got rid of cable.
Well, I think that's what
bunch of great people becoming friends.
This is one of the things that I think everybody has kind of hit on, and is one of the things that I always constantly talk about when they do these retarded reboots and remakes of all these films. Now, you know, there is a way to actually do these things and to be able to carry on. In case in point, when you brought up Star Wars, there was a way for them to actually continue forth and carry on the story and to build on what was already there. But instead, they wanted to take the nostalgia aspect of that franchise and the name associated with that franchise and all the fans that were associated with that franchise. And instead of building on it, they wanted to put forth an agenda. And they want to deconstruct everything that was already there. And this is one of the reasons why I am completely against a lot of this newer crap that is coming out. And I get so sick and tired of hearing all these people. They want to bash all these companies. Case in point, Disney. They sit there and they talk this shit about Disney all the way up to the point until Disney comes out with a new show. What do? They're the first ones running over there watching it. And I know there's some people that watch it because they literally enjoy some of these shows. And you know what? If that's what you like, God bless you. I'm just saying, for the ones that sit there and talk shit about Disney and talk about they don't want to have nothing to do with them, and they talk about cancel culture, and they talk about them destroying the mythology of all these different shows, you know what? Stop watching these shows. Don't tell me, well, I got to see if it's bad or not. No, you don't. Let them fail, because this is the same thing that everybody did when they couldn't take it anymore when they came out with The Last Jedi. Everybody refused to go see Solo. What happened? That movie tanked, and tanked hard. They had a second Solo in the works that they were going to push through. But as soon as that thing tanked as hard as it did, guess what? That sequel went right out the damn window. Now, lately, I heard that they were like small rumors and rumblings that maybe they were thinking about trying to bring it back. But if they look at how bad that first one flopped, I doubt very highly they're going to do it. And I think if more people practice what they preached when they said that they've had enough with these companies and actually stayed away from them, we would probably actually see real change in some of the entertainment. And that doesn't just go for movies. That goes for everything else, too. That goes for comic books. That goes for, like, TV shows. It goes for all of it. If you don't like what they're doing, don't continue watching it, because regardless of whether or not one show is good, they may have one show that's good and may appeals to you, but guess what? That is funding the other 4 or 5 really horrible shows that they're going to be putting right on the heels of that.
Yeah, I hate watching, bro. It became a thing, you know. They hate it, but they watch it. They can't stop. And then they bitch, they moan, they complain. And I'm with you, man. Like, we just don't watch this shit. I don't know how many times we've been on different streams where we've talked about that, where, you know, like, well, Tommy, what do you think? And he's like, I'm like, Tommy don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. We're not watching this shit. You know, we're done. We're done with, like, I'm done with Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. Star Trek is dead. You know what the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars is in the year 2022? Nothing. They both suck.
I take shit, case by case basis. You know, I don't believe I've ever said, well, I don't want nothing to do with, you know, with this or that or the other thing, you know, because it's like, you know, if somebody, you know, it's like if somebody's doing something wrong, you say it. But if they do something right, you need to say that too, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, the positive with the negative. But yeah, when they're doing something right, you can tell them. I mean, okay. So most of you guys don't know this, but I've known Shellback for a while. And when he got his own place, it was no big deal, but I sent him, they had the Hot Wheels, the turtle version of the Hot Wheel car. So I sent him all 5 of them because I bought them for him for a home warming gift. I've never met this man, but I've known him for like 4 years, maybe 5 by now. But I mean, it's just one of those things. he's a turtle fanatic. There's nothing wrong with that. We all love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, from back in the day. But it was just one of those nice things to do. Myself, when I got pissed at Star Wars, I just quit buying all the toys and stuff, and I've got enough Star Wars stuff for an entire 4-room walls to be covered in Hot Wheels and figures and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, for me to do that, yep, there they are. For me to do that says a lot, because I buy what I love, Tommy, you've seen the pictures of the gym that I'm in right now, my second garage. I've got more shit in here that I love, between Transformers and, Fast and Furious to, whatever else I've got in here, Punisher stuff, the Incredible Hulk, all that stuff. The M&M guy that's holding the freaking M&M thing. A big gumball machine from TGI Fridays, that one of my brothers allegedly stole. But yeah, I will spend my money on stuff I love. I bought all the Black Series lightsabers I could get my hands on up till the newer movies even. The last one I bought was Count Dooku's, and I've wanted that one ever since I saw, him in the movies with that lightsaber. And I finally got one. And it was worth the $150 I paid for it and all this time waiting. But I sure as shit ain't going to buy Rey Skywalker his lightsaber that isn't even hers, because, she's a Palpatine, if you will. But again, that's me. Look, if Tony liked it, if Tony liked the stuff, I'm not going to fucking be mean to Tony because he likes the stuff. I mean, that's part of being an individual. Hey, go ahead, Jens.
I was saying, Rey's lightsabers, Luke Skywalker's in it. So if you got Luke Skywalker's, then which was Anakin Skywalker's, wasn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think here's the thing that a lot of people misunderstand when I'm saying this. That I'm not saying like, okay, say that you've never said a thing about it and you like certain things that they do. Good for you. Go ahead and watch it. My gripe and my critique is to the people that sit there and they tell other people not to watch this stuff. They tell them boycott this stuff, or I stand with Gina Carano, or I do this, or I do that, and then they turn around and they watch the same shows and they follow the same companies that they say are destroying modern entertainment. My critique to them is, if you are going to continue watching this shit, stop complaining about it. That's all. That's all. Practice what you preach. It is not a hard concept to understand. I do not like Disney, and I've said this multiple times, and everybody on this panel knows it. Everybody in the chat that follows me knows that I hate Disney. I can't stand that company. I don't like what they do, and I will not have a damn thing to do with anything that company does. I've actually gotten into a few arguments with a friend of mine I've known since I was 11 years old over some of this new Disney stuff. Oh, well, why don't you just watch it anyway? I don't want to have nothing to do with it. What part of this don't you understand? I said, if you want to watch that shit, you go right ahead. Don't tell me I need to watch it because I don't. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing with Gina though, she herself said that there was people in that company, namely like the crew, the people behind the scenes, that she really liked, and that she had nothing but good things to say about them. But it's the corporate people and the higher ups or whatever that that didn't like her, and
well,
that's why all that shit happened. So it's like there's other people that work for Disney that they've just kind of been keeping their head down because they got families that they got to provide for and all this shit, which but with some of this latest stuff that's been going on, even they have been like, well, I guess it's time to find a different company to work for. But it's so like there are still good people that work at that company, and that's that's what I try and keep in mind. But I mean, I've like after Boba Fett, because I watched that show, so I could
keep
be on so I could be on a panel with Chris Knight, and talk about that shit.
Well,
But
Shellback, 1 second, real quick. All right, and I'll let you get back to that. Tony's got to leave. Tony's got some obligations to attend to. Tony, thank you for stopping in, man. Let everybody know where you're heading.
Yeah, so you can catch me in about a half hour over at ETAP's Etapicurian's place to be reviews for Monday Night Going in Raw. Catch me over there. Vinny, Red Gaze, ETAP, of course. Chris Fisk might be there. We're gonna go over the box office for this past weekend. Looks like Sonic 2 is number one right now, which it's good to see after they I was thinking about this yesterday on Vinny's chill stream. We're looking at Gore the God Butcher and Christian Bale's playing him in Thor Love and Thunder. And I'm just like, imagine if Marvel would have learned something from the Sonic producers and actually did something for the fans, like kept these characters true to life, but they don't have that humility. They think they're too big to fail, and because of that, we're getting death from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So, it is what it is. But we'll be talking about that a little bit and all kinds of different stories. Thank you for having me on, Tommy. I'm going to try to be on longer next week. I kind of make my own schedule, so I need to just get off work earlier on Mondays.
I'll start messaging you and remind you, Tony, we got a show.
Go.
No, I appreciate every time that anybody can come on, every single one of you. When you make the time to actually come on these streams and discuss some of these things with me, I enjoy it every time. And it doesn't matter how long you hear, whether it's a long time or a short time, it's appreciated all the same, man.
Hell yeah, man. It's always a blast. And so I'm gonna go. I've got dog drama going on, but
dog drama.
Yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow, later this week, next week, and chat. You rock. It's great to see all of you, and thanks again, Tommy.
No, my pleasure, man. You take care now.
Definitely. Have a good night.
Take care, Tom.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah.
Go ahead, Shellback. You had a epic rant, but I know Tony had to get going, so I'm so sorry.
No, that's cool. I mean, I was just about to the end anyway, I think. But but like I said, there's still good people in that company, and still good people that work at the theme park. So it's like. Those are the people that I think about,
Well, I can understand that to a degree, but unfortunately, I know we've had this discussion before because my thoughts on it. Unfortunately, though, those people that are good people, and we've seen those good people that were standing up against Disney and the shit that they're pushing right now with all the freaking nonsense with that don't think down, and that's not even what the bill has anything at all in it. It doesn't have nothing like that. It's all about parental rights and parental notifications, and about not teaching kids from kindergarten to third grade shit that they don't need to know. But all those people in Disney that had enough of it, they're standing up and saying something. Unfortunately, they are small cogs in the machine. And really, and it's sad to say this, their opinions and their voices in that company don't matter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all these decisions, like I've always said, they come down from the top. These big guys that are sitting at the top and the board of directors and coming on down are the ones that make all these damn decisions. And unfortunately, all the people that don't think like that are being suppressed, or like they were saying, these people were saying they're afraid to talk about it because they're worried that their job and their livelihood may be on the line if they do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, think about it, dude. Everybody works. Everybody has a job and or has had a job. So, you're there to work. It doesn't matter what your view. Remember when political views and opinions and religion didn't matter? I do. You went to work. That was it. It's sad that everything's been tied into this. And with Disney, yeah, you just don't know how many of the people there are truly part of the problem versus part of the solution. And I think that's where we've ran into. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're all individuals. We all know what we love, and we're all going to like different stuff. It's just weird that in the last, say, 5 years or so, it's like if you don't see things the same as the people of shit you don't like, then you're the problem. You're the fascist. When it's just like, hey, man, I just don't like it, So, no.
Well, the shareholders, they're like showing a bit because the shares have dropped in that. And because I think there was a few shareholders like not knowing what property, when they're that rich, they just got shares in companies that they don't know what the company's doing apart from it's making money. And it started not making money as much. And then like they had a look and it's like, oh yeah, shit. And I think a few of them like they dropped the shit. And so I think Disney knows like, oh yeah, it's got to make some half decent. That's worth watching. That, if I may plug one of my videos of Moon Knight, which I think is being pretty good. And so if kids are going to be sort of raped, tortured and murdered and that by Disney, well, at least Moon Knight is worth it, because some kids, right, the little bastards from the start, and so fuck it, we'll just sacrifice them little cunts that start fucking around with your record collection when you've told them don't touch it, leave them CDs alone. But no, the little sticky fingers, no, we start sacrificing them little bastards just for Moon Knight, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard too much favorable feedback about Moon Knight.
Well, you're talking to the wrong people. Listen to me. It's fucking masculine action. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't read a lot of the comics, but I've enjoyed the series so far. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the newer Marvel stuff, but this was one of the ones I've enjoyed thoroughly. We're only 2 episodes in, but yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the pilot was great. I can't remember. It's my other British friend that told me the run that this is kind of based off of, and for the life of me, I can't remember. But so far, it stayed true, and he's not complained about it, and I've enjoyed it because, I don't know an overabundance about the character, but what I've seen in these 2 episodes is enough to make me want to go check out the comics.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, the words, the word that I've been hearing was the first episode sucked and the second episode wasn't much better.
Well, that's because they probably didn't like Moon Knight kicking the shit out of these jackals. It probably scared them. They're like, oh, right. The poor jackal.
No, it was the mirrors. Yeah, it was the mirrors. They got confused when he's talking to himself in all the mirrors and shit. And it was. Mean, everybody's got their own cup of tea, man, and maybe that's just not their cup of tea. I mean, I'm coming from it. I know Spider-Man. I read the comics. I watched the cartoons, seen the movies. When it comes to Moon Knight, I think there were a couple crossovers he might have been in, or back in the '90s. I know I'd read something, but I can't remember because it's '90s. But starting at it with fresh eyes and watching the show, because I don't usually expect anything but shit coming out of Disney, right? This surprised me. It was actually very. It had a story. It has, you've got excitement. It's filling out, and it started. The first episode, I thought the pace was really good. It wasn't too slow. It wasn't too fast. It didn't over or under explain things. All I could say, Shellback, is maybe check it out for yourself if it's something you'd be interested in.
That's the thing, though.
Because I've done 2 reviews of the first episode and the second episode where I proper go into as much detail as I can. I try not to go into too much detail because my reviews as long as the episodes themselves. So, you're thinking, but I didn't mind because I know a little bit about Moon Knight through a few comics and that because I've seen like a few sort of comic covers and with the suit and all that. It is sort of like a like Batman sort of thing, but with a white suit and that. But I didn't really read any of the comics, if you know it. But I did know a little bit enough about Moon Knight that when I've been watching the like series, because I don't know that much about him and that like I know enough that like it's been all right for me and it's had masculine action. So even if it was shit, as long as they're showing someone beating the shit out of a
heroic nonsense.
yeah. But Disney is still disgusting company.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt your ranting about Disney?
What?
I'm sorry. Did you say
What?
maybe we're talking about Disney?
What?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You interrupted his vocabularistics.
I know. Well, you know, that's kind of happening. We'll talk about it just for a little while until I think I've had enough and I've heard enough. What? That's right, Red Gaze. I know Shellback has got his show coming up in a little while, and before we get out of here, I actually have one more toy break that I actually prepared for today's show. This is going to be another oddball one, kind of like the Food Fighters, and I'm sure this is going to catch a lot of people by surprise, because I almost bet not many of you are going to know this one.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Rorschach and I are coming at you again with another toy break. Right, Rorschach? Here we go. So, coming by way of Mattel in 1992, we have Key Force. This was an interesting toy line. Basically, it was an everyday or average looking car, or maybe not so average looking car. And what you would do is you would take the key underneath it to activate its features. Key is stored underneath. And you'd put it in the slot in the back. Turn the key. And flip a few panels down. And you would have an armored vehicle. And you could actually put the key in the top and turn the cannon. Interesting toy with an interesting feature from Mattel in 92. Right, Rorschach? You're not even pushing this one off the pedestal. You must like this one.
Rorschach sitting there giving you a side eye like, dude, quit making all the noise.
You know what? It's funny.
I like the key that didn't want to cooperate with you, and then Rorschach's looking at you, and he's like, dude, it just turned into an alien. I ain't touching that damn thing.
I know, right? No, he's actually pretty hilarious when I put stuff on the turntable in front of him because it's almost like, okay, why is this thing in my spot?
Well, I know you've done videos where he's knocked stuff off too, and I always
yes.
Like that.
Oh well, what you guys don't see is all the times I've actually had to stop and then re-record it because he literally just knocked it right off the damn turntable. Solar Warden, if any more people cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions, Minnie is going to have to start an OnlyFans.
No, I should just keep fucking good.
And I'm not Creative 22. There are a few idiots actually defending what Disney is doing these days. It reminds me of the episode of South Park where Steve Jobs says, "Oh my God, we still can't make it read." Yeah, it does in a small way, kind of like the mass toys. Yeah, this one was another one that was pretty interesting. There was actually another spot for the key alongside the cannon to make the cannon go up and down as well. And if you put the axe in the front of the cannon, it's actually spring-loaded and it fires the axe out. But I have to keep these things under a certain amount of time for a toy break, or they're just way too long and I can't upload them. So sometimes I have to miss some of the features of the toys when I'm doing these things. But
right. Well, what I'm hearing is that there should be reels of outtakes. Thanks to Rorschach. And I think we deserve, those that you have not been able to do, a Rorschach best of videos where he has messed with you, because I think that's hilarious.
I'm going to have to start saving them and doing that. I should have saved them from the beginning, but I didn't. I usually run out of space because unfortunately my phone is still everything. It's my voice recorder. It's my camera. It's my literal phone too. It's what I use for freaking Twitter and everything else 90% of the time, unless I'm posting links for the show. So, I mean, I use my phone for everything. So I do have to keep the memory on that under a certain level. And I don't always save every single thing that I record. Sometimes I just erase it. So I will. I'm going to have to start saving some of that, and I will put like a big blooper reel, a Rorschach blooper reel up.
Yes, that would be my request. Yes, please, because and I get it, dude. I get it. You're not going to have everything, because it's the same with the dogs. Like when I'm sending pictures to you guys, there's like 15 to get the right shot. Work with animals. It's fun, people, and let me tell you, they mess with you on purpose.
They do. They absolutely do.
Hey, Adam, though, have you seen that device you can get where you like get a ball, like a tennis ball or whatever, and you stick it on your phone or whatever you like taking the photo with, and the dogs will like look at the ball and put, so like it gets a, but with puppies it is hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're just assholes, man. We love them. It's like Tony was saying earlier, he was taking care of stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but yet here's the best part. Here's your Obi-Wan Kenobi moment, Well, who's the fool? The fool or the fool that follows him? Well, who is feeding said animal and picking up said animal's feces and giving said animal lovin's and treats and more lovin's? Yeah, it's us.
No, that's the wife says that I'm trained by the guinea pigs because I feed them like clockwork.
Yeah, I know this dude that he like had his dogs like children. He'd let them like do anything they like and that, and then buy them like loads of stuff. Feed them better food than like what I'd be getting,
Real quick, Shellback has got to dip out. Shellback has got to prepare for the Yelling at Park Cars warm up. Go ahead, Shellback. Let them know what's going on and tell the good people where to find you so they can see this wonderful show.
Shellback TJC on the YouTubes, and I will. You can also click on the the tweet that I put out, and same thing, Shellback TJC on the Twitters, and yeah, we'll hopefully have a decent conversation about. Okay, groomer. And with that, I will leave you with. Hold on, let me. I gotta make sure my voice is okay here.
So go back to the subjects about Disney again.
Make sure to join my OnlyFans.
Can I ask you something, Shellback?
What?
Are you high?
Just a little high.
Are you high?
Want to get high? Just a little high.
What's up, Luffy Scott? I know we're going to be wrapping up shortly. I know Shellback's getting ready to go live. ETEP is going to be going live shortly. So
I know. Take care, everyone.
All right, take care, Shellback. Thank you for being on. And I know I'm going to try to stop in for Shellback. I got a few things I got to do before I jump on with him. I actually got to go clean the piggies' cages out, which is kind of dark out there now. At the very least, I got to bring the turtle in from outside because he's been out there and it's getting dark. So,
oh yeah,
the sulcata turtle will dig in the ground, and he will be hard to pull out of the ground once he starts digging. So, oh man, there's always something going on. Always something.
Always.
It never ends in this house.
Yep, I concur.
All right. Yeah. But we're gonna get ready, and we're gonna run around the horn right here. So we're gonna do our proper outro to that, and here we go.
You know me, but I don't remember smelling you before. Who are you, and where do you come from?
That's good. You've smelt me before. I'm a super fan. I am the man with the plan, along with Frank and the Wiener Dog Clan. Big fan of this series and of this gentleman here. Thank you for having me on. Wednesday, I'll be on Digital Pollution, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday night on the Men's Room, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me in all the usual places. ETEP Place to Be Review, Tony Clown World Review. Anytime this gentleman here with the guinea pigs is on, I'm generally either on or in the chat. So, it's been an honor and a pleasure as always to hang out with everybody. Chat, take care, people. It's been great chatting with all of you. I'm glad you enjoyed the fire for the ambiance that I had for a little bit there while I was working. And, stay sane, everybody.
Guys, make sure you check out his channel. The links are down in the description below, along with all the wonderful, awesome mods that I have that have been posting those links throughout the show. And now,
scan for identification. Oh, I thought you were going to use that. We don't understand it was good. You don't know how to talk.
Oh, okay.
But he don't know talking good like me and you. So his vocabularistics is limited.
Yeah, his vocabulary.
Yeah. Well, anyway, be talking is still a bit shit, but I've at least released a video so I can promote it of season 1 of episode 2 of Moon Knight, which, as I say, if kids have got to be sacrificed to the altar of the Disney woke crowd and that, then at least they're making Moon Knight, which is half decent entertainment and that, because there was a little bit of sorry, but it is one of them where it's the Disney, and so they are going to have a few Disney little soy bits in it, but there's masculine action in it where I'm like well impressed, and yeah.
Well, wasn't it just to say real quick? Didn't they say the same thing about the Mandalorian at first?
I love the Mandalorian. I like 1 and 2, and I even like Boba Fett because it had half of season 3 in it.
But this series does feel more Marvel than it does Disney version Marvel. Just so you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's a bit in it where he's got 2 split personalities, and one of his personalities, which I'm very disappointed with Disney, that they make the British version of the dude who's called Stephen Grant. He's all like, oh no, I don't like this. Real soy as fuck. But the American fucking version of his personality, who's called Mark Spector, he's all like, hey, we'll do this. Just let me do it. I'll kick the fucking Wolverine's ass. Like, fuck. Real tough and that. Are you like, what? Are you trying to make out like British people, all right? Soy cunts. But anyway, apart from that, yeah, it's been all right. And yeah, there was a bit where he gets a gun and that, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to take this all this illegal shit to the police, and so they use the word shit in a Disney Plus episode, which I was like, oh, okay now. And the violence is a bit where I think it's like 18 violence, where they're allowed to show fucking people getting the shit beaten out of them as long as they don't end up dead. Oh, well, although the bad guy, he is killing off a few. So, yeah, it is a more of an adult thing where I think that they know, like, yeah, Moon Knight, with its adult themes and that in it, it was hard to do that for kids. And so I think they have gone for, like, the Netflix sort of Punisher and Daredevil sort of level where it's like obviously not super graphic, but is graphic enough. And then I'll have a stream tomorrow sort of thing between Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday night sort of thing. And then Wednesday is the Bond review of Never Say Never. And I've got a Twitter account at 278 Pedersen.
Awesome. Guys, make sure to stop by and see that. And if you want to subject yourself to Disney, make sure to stop by and see his soy-filled review of Moon Knight.
No, well, as I say, there's little bits of soy in it, but I know, and like I did a stream on it where I know that there would be little bits of soyness in it, but there would be masculine action. And so,
Jens, I got to stop you right there, and I'm going to refer you to Bones' statement. I have a 0 soy policy. Can't watch it.
Yeah, well, then I suggest like you do what you do, Bone. Just don't watch anything pre-2000 or anything after 2000. Yeah, it gets a bit sorry, but
a lot of it's so bad.
Well, like there's probably about 2 minutes of soy compared to like 12 minutes of masculine action. So,
and remember, most of that soy he's talking about was a whole British thing with the accent and the way he acted. So, you know, that could just be a British soy.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I was talking about the scene where the lad starts beating up this dude and that, and it wasn't real soy. The stunt where the dude had to like throw himself onto this ledge thing that then collapses and he rolls onto like a platform thing that also collapses and he probably lands in a on a crash mat, but you know it's covered in that.
Bone wants to know: is it soy-based masculine action?
No,
not his masculinity. The thing is the have a bit of the comedy is where the Stephen Grant character, who I don't know why they picked him as being British in that. I wonder what.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Well, the portraying the British dude was, and I think they have been taking a lot of cocaine to get the crazy idea that the British dude would be some kind of little soy bitch who was like, no, I won't do that.
See, I see the series as this. It's Ash versus Evil Dead, just without the gore. That's kind of how I felt. I didn't feel any soy in it. I mean, you had guys that were acting kind of girly, so you've got that little bit of a moment. But I mean, other than that, though, I mean, I think it's a good series. And if it wasn't for the fact that Tommy is done with Disney and Marvel and stuff, I think he would possibly enjoy it. Because not knowing much from the comics, after watching the 2 episodes so far, it's enough to make me want to go start checking out the comics, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, the comics are real good, but as I say, there was one of them where I'd seen a few sort of like covers and that enough to like get, because like there was one cover that was real good where it had like most of his personas on this cover and that, and when you like have a flick through and that, and so you like you get a sort of like feel for the character, but you don't like
trying to take your manhood.
Read it. You don't sit there and read it. I got you.
But the flick through, you sort of like have a good sort of like idea of like, oh yeah, what's going to happen. But I never had the opportunity to like read any of the Moon Knights and that. And I'm one of them where I always wait for it to get put onto film. And so now it's been put. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch the. So we're getting. It's like
Very interesting. I see your hobbies are drinking, smoking weed, and all types of ill shit.
Yeah, and the ill shit I think is portraying the British dude as the pussy soy cunt, which is just ridiculous in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I have had enough of the soy. I've had enough about hearing about the soy, and I need. I have a few things to take care of. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something, Jens?
I said, let's get.
You don't know talking good like me and you, so his vocabularistics is limited.
That's not nice.
What's going on, Speaker of the Dead? I know we're just getting ready to run out of here.
I'm never letting you talk again. You hear me?
Yeah, did you say something, Lance? Did you say something else?
Jesus, it's only the biggest goddamn hole in the world.
Doing that, I don't like it.
I know, and that's exactly why I do it, because I'm a rotten bastard. But no, okay, no, seriously, I do have things I got to take care of. I got to get out of here. Shut up. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, every single time that you come out. I appreciate all my members of my panel that come in and drop in and have some fun and talk about the stuff from the past. And then, of course, promote their channels at the end. Unfortunately, I had to hear a little bit more than I wanted to hear about something, but no, it's all good. Make sure to stop by if you want to hear about that talk about Moon Knight with Jens. Be sure to stop by and see what Superfan Adam Shawhan is doing with the men's room. Be sure to stop by and see Etep Wakuian, and be sure to stop by and see Shellback as he does yelling at Park Car's warm-up, starting probably 5 minutes ago. But guys, thank you so much for being here. We had a wonderful time. I love talking about those old things. If you missed some of the topics from earlier, go ahead and watch it from the beginning of the show. Even if you only just catch the topics that we talked about, I think it was a fun time. I know I had a blast, and I had a blast being here with all of you. So remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent, and we will catch you next time. Later, y'all.
Bong.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sparking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death rocking.
We have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi guys, try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.